Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and click the subscribe button because I'll be honored to have you here. In this video, we're going to briefly discuss something called implied odds. So let's get right into it. Implied odds are based on the possibility of winning money on later streets. If you think you can win a lot of money from your opponents, if you make your draw, you have good implied odds. On the other hand, if you think your opponent will not pay you off if you hit your draw, then you have bad implied odds. So having good implied odds may help you justify a call that is incorrect when you consider pot odds. Let's see an example of that. You're heads up, out of position with 4-5 and the flop comes Queen 6 tray. Your opponent is a tight player and he bets the pot. You're getting 2-to-1 odds, so based on pot odds only, you shouldn't call. But you know that your opponent is a tight player and his range is very strong here with a pot-sized bet. So you deduce your implied pot odds are good and you call, hoping that if you catch your straight, he's gonna pay you for it. An example of bad implied odds would be if you had the same hand but the flop came 7, 8, 9. Now you only have a gut shot, so your pot odds are really bad and your implied odds are almost non-existent, because even if you hit that gut shot, your opponent is not gonna pay you off with a worse hand, because the board will be just too scary. So in general, when you're thinking whether you have good or bad implied odds in a hand, think about how concealed your hand is. Is your opponent a good player or a bad one? And if you hit your hand, will he pay it off or not? Reverse implied odds describe the opposite situation. So how much you could expect to lose. They occur when you have a marginal hand and think you're best at the moment, but your opponent keeps betting at you. You're not really sure where you're at in the hand, you have little chance of improving, and you know your opponent may keep on betting or not. So when you're beat, you lose a lot, and when you have the best hand, you win the minimum. Let's look at an example. You have a pair of kings and the flop comes deuce tray 4. Your opponent bets out to you. You should still probably call this one bet, but you definitely have bad reverse implied odds. And if your opponent bets again on the turn, it's better to just throw your kings away and wait for a better spot. Okay, great. Let's sum up what you've learned. Implied odds are important in games where stacks are deep. They can help you justify calling in spots where your pot odds are not too good. They can also help you decide not to build big pots in spots where the board is scary and it's unlikely your opponent will pay you off if the draw is complete. Reverse implied odds describe how much you could expect to lose on later streets and help you avoid playing big pots with mediocre hands. It sometimes makes sense to fold a strong hand when you don't really know where you're at and your opponent is showing a lot of strength. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and post them below and I'll be sure to answer them as best as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to watch more videos like this in the future. This video is part of a complete poker course dedicated to beginner and casual players that teaches the fundamentals, the most basic principles and strategies of No Limit Texas Hold'em. If you want to become a winning poker player, check it out at Udemy and Skillshare. The links are in the description of this video.